Greetings, naturalists. Welcome once again to our space on YouTube. I'm super excited that you have found our corner. And while you're here, it would mean a huge deal if you could help us grow our family by subscribing and hitting that post notification bell to receive updates when we post. So, today's topic is all about sages. Yes, we've all heard about sages. Seems to be the in thing now. But let me give you a little secret. It's not that new. In fact, these plants have been around for eons, and they've been used by our ancestors thousands of years for a whole lot of purposes. So let me get right into it. Now, if you happen to see me looking down on while I post, it's my sage guide I'm looking at. So we have sages. Get a look at this. Oh, there that one goes. But that's all right. You can get that. So we have sages. And when I tell you sages, I mean sages. Let me give you a little history about sages. It's actually been used, like I said, for thousands of years by the ancient ones who came before us for things like cleansing, whether it's you, whether it's your space, or whether it's an item in your possession. You want to cleanse it from any negative inner chi, as I call it, but energy. Because energy is residual and it tends to linger around. So we cleanse to get rid of any negative energy and to let in positive energy. So the saging is actually the physical motion of lighting the sage and passing it over the person or the object. Smudging, on the other hand, is a ceremonial way that you use sages to commune with higher powers for protection and cleansing and uplifting purposes. Now, as we know, plants are vibrational and each plant has its own purpose. They're medicinal and they also have their own life force energy because they're living things. So sages, they all have their own purpose. So I'm going to get into the sages, identify them for you, and let you know what their purpose is. Now we have here, first on the list, we have our cedar. Here it is. This is the cedar, and this is used for prayers. No matter what your belief system is, generally praying is communing with your spiritual base or the source of your spiritual strength. So the cedar, we use these prayers. Next on the list we have the copal, and copal is used to raise psychic vibrations. This is what it looks like. It's actually the blue sage or the desert sage that's coated with copal resin. That's what this one is. So that's what that looks like. And then we have the dragon's blood. Dragon's blood, this is what this looks like. And it's actually the white sage that's coated with the dragon's blood resin. And this one is for heavy protection. Sometimes we need a little more protection because there's something that's just not seeming to go away with the normal cleansing. So this one here is what I recommend for that. And then the desert blue is this one. That's just a plain desert sage. And these are found wild all over here in the desert. And then we have the desert is for healing, whether it's after an illness, a physical illness, or an emotional illness. Let's say you've been through something traumatic and you need to heal. This is the one. Desert or the blue sage. Then we have the juniper. Now the juniper, this is the small bundles. And then I also have the very big bundle. And these are for intuitive healing. For those of us who practice massage therapy and Reiki and stone therapy healing, the juniper is the one that I recommend. And then we have lavender. This is what it looks like. Now, who does not love the smell of lavender? Just heavenly. Lavender is for calming. It's when people suffer from anxiety attacks, restlessness, insomnia, depression. Lavender is your go-to herb for that. And then we have the mugwort. Now, this mugwort is super powerful. It actually stimulates dreams. So you sage with this before you sleep, and I've had customers return and tell me how they've had some really vivid dreams and they can remember every detail and they feel so real. And there is the cure, or I should say a treatment, for the coronavirus that has been discovered in Africa, and they have marketed it and they have patented it, and it's from a herb. This is what it is. This is the herb that they've used for that cure, mugwort. So don't take my word for it. Look at that. So this, if you want that protection from the virus, you can use this. So this is what this one looks like. And then we have the pinyon pine, which is this one here. And this is only comes in these big ones now. And this is for prosperity. We have the Palo Santo. This is for cleansing and purifying. You would have seen this smoking when the video started. It's my favorite scent. It's so earthy and woody, and it's sweet still. So this is what it looks like when it's burnt. But I just love that smell. Then we have the rosemary. Rosemary has been renowned for its healing properties when it comes to mental focus and memory improvement. Anyone who's studying or needs a little more studies when it comes to focusing, this is the one for you. The rosemary. And then we have the sandalwood. The sandalwood would aid in sleep, and it relieves anxiety, and it's also good for protection. So these are its sticks. This is also one of my favorite. I tend to like the wood more than the trees because it has that earthy aroma, but it's super good. So sandalwood sticks. And then we have the sweetgrass, which is this big braid here. And this is good for if you have your altar set up. It's good for offerings to the ancestors, to burn for the ancestors on your altars. It's for healing and peace. Also has a nice, that sweet meadow scent. We have the white sage. It comes in two varieties. We have it plain. This is what this looks like. Plain small bundle, and we have it in the bigger bundle. This is the most common sage around, and this is for cleansing and purifying. So the white sage and the Palo Santo, they have similar properties, and also comes with the rose petals. So this is what this one looks like. You can see the rose petals. And then we have the Yerba Santa. This is good to manifest love. We all need love in our lives, whether it's self-love or to promote love among each other in a home environment where you share space with others. This is it, the Yerba Santa. So we have all these different sages listed, and I will leave a link below for you in the description where you can purchase. Aren't they lovely? And we also have accessories to help you to sage safely. So you don't want to be starting any fires with sages being lit sages, that is, being put into unsafe receptacles. So we have this is the abalone seashell. This is what this looks like. And it comes with a wooden tripod stand. So you rest that in there, like that. And then we have the pure copper Palo Santo holders. And these work, you can pull up like that, and you place your Palo Santo sticks in there, and voila. So we have all these listed. I will leave links in the descriptions below. And one last thing before we go, you may not be familiar with how sages work. So what you do, you first have to light any side of your sage or your Palo Santo or your sandalwood or your braid, your sweetgrass braid, and then you fan it, or you blow it out so that the fire outs, and then you, when it's smoking or smoldering, then you use the smoke. The smoke is what does the work of the herb. And then you when you're doing yourself, when you're doing anyone, that is, you should always start with yourself, because we oftentimes forget ourselves. And you start from your head and you go all the way down to your feet, and then you come all the way back up, and you say your prayers, whatever prayer you say, whatever prayer you're comfortable saying or reciting, and you're asking to be cleansed and for protection and for healing. And then you let that smolder out in your heat safe receptacle, and you, of course, you keep your eye on it, because remember, it is still lit. Most of the times, if not all, they usually burn out on their own, depending on how long you let it stay lit for. And then you go from person to person, same way, and then with your space, you always open windows and doors to let that negativity out and the positivity to come in and stay in. So that's it. Saging and sages. Don't forget, saging is the physical act of lighting the sage bundle and cleansing. Smudging is the ancient ceremonial act of lighting the sage and praying and honoring those who've been before us. And that's usually done by an elder, a spiritual elder within the community. So with all this being said, thank you guys for watching, and don't forget, let's get this video to 10,000 views and I will post the next video. So long guys, and thanks for watching.
Naturally yours. Naturally yours.